Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. In the last episode, we defeated Chuck and got the Storm Badge, and we also brought the Seeker Potion over to the Ampharos and the Lighthouse. In this episode, we still have some other optional areas to explore around in Johto before we take on Jasmine, because there's still some grinding to do, because we have Surf and Fly to use in the overworld. So yeah, we still got some backtracking that we got to do just to explore those areas. Heading back over to the Ruins of Alph because there's some other areas or like some other puzzles that we can do. Because last time we went over there, we did that one puzzle where it was Kabuto, and then that somehow activated the to where you can actually start catching the unknown. And so we're gonna go ahead and just do some more puzzles here. So yeah, like beforehand, the best way to go about it is just start with the corner pieces first, and then just focus on the edges, and then just go to the center. That's usually what I always do. It's always the best way for doing these puzzles. And for each puzzle you complete, more variants of the unknown alphabet will start to appear in the actual ruins themselves. So it'll be like basically some just some other variants. Like they're still very much the same kind of unknown, but like just just different forms of the alphabet. Basically, in this, for this generation, the unknowns you'll be encountering is just like basically the ones from A to Z. I also know that come Gen 3, there's actually like two more of the unknown variants. There's a question mark unknown and the exclamation mark unknown. So so that's basically those two that you encounter here. This one kind of stumped me a bit though because it kind of looks like I kind of butchered a bit with the parts for Aerodactyl, but I think it's, yeah, I kind of had it backwards there with just those bottom parts. Everything else I did just fine, but it's basically just like the whole the rest of the body for Aerodactyl, and then there we go. Now, there's one thing that I don't really get to show off though, and like, cause I thought that I was supposed to obtain it from talking to one of the NPCs, but I think you actually automatically get it. In your Pokegear radio, if you go over to it once you're in these ruins, you'll get this very strange, very creepy kind of a tune that that plays, and so it's basically like some kind of it's basically some kind of an unknown sound where you use that, then you'll probably just be able to attract more unknown. So so yeah, there's that. It's a very creepy tune, I gotta say, but I guess kind of just keep with the mystery of the unknown. So, yeah, basically, there's pretty much no reason to be here. I mean, it's just there, if you want to go ahead and catch some unknown. Because for some reason, in, you remember, like, the opening in Crystal where, like, it has a Suicune racing through, but then there's, like, a bunch of unknown and just emitting some strange calls. Even the commercial for Pokemon Crystal, has some guy just exploring some ruins for unknown. So like they make it seem like this is one of those things where like trailers always lie because like they make it so like that unknown is supposed to play some kind of a key factor for Pokemon Crystal, but at the end of the day it actually doesn't. It really doesn't go anywhere. I mean, the only thing that actually at least goes somewhere is just Suicune, because there's just the Suicune plot line that we'll be seeing like a little later on in this playthrough, but. As for the unknown, no, they just they still have the same kind of role as they did in the original Gold and Silver, where they're just there. I mean, there's NPCs like talking about the kind of a little bit of the backstory, just about the unknown themselves. But other than that, though, it just doesn't go anywhere. It's just there. So like they kind of hype it up just for the sake of hyping it up, but it really goes completely nowhere. So at the end of the day, it's still optional. So I mean, if you want to catch unknown for the sake of Pokedex completion, or just by catching the variants, then by all means. But either way, unknown is still a useless Pokemon. Only knows hidden power, has piss poor stats. So just don't go for unknown. Just don't. Unless you're that much. Unless you're just you're very curious, or you just want to like try them out at some point. But they're really not worth it. They can't really do shit. Just hidden power and all that stuff. So. Anyway, so we're at the bottom of the basement, basement first floor, I think? Yeah, I think it's just basement first floor of the Slowpoke Well in Azalea Town. And all there is, like, if you just push that boulder, and then, I didn't see what TM18 was, I kind of overlooked it there, but if you, but once you push that boulder, and then you actually just surf down there, you see that guy that's down there. He'll give you a King's Rock, and yeah, I already mentioned about what the King's Rock does. It's actually it's actually a hold item for like some Pokemon to trade over to evolve it. So like with a Slowpoke and Poliwhirl, that's kind of an item that'll evolve Poliwhirl into Politoed, and then a Slowpoke into a Slowking. Because that's basically like the alternative evolution method from Slowpoke, like aside from Slowbro. Because I know Slowpoke evolves to Slowbro just by level. Not exactly what they say about like, having to have a shoulder by its tail. No, it just evolves by level. But for evolving it to Slowking, then just by having it hold the King's Rock and then trade it over. Unfortunately, though, this is going to be the only King's Rock you'll ever obtain, because there's no others. So, like, if you want to get that, so if you want to evolve, like, one of those other Pokemon that I mentioned, but then you just want the other one, well, the only way to get it is that you have to go to one of the other versions, like either Gold or Silver, and then obtain that at King's Rock, and then just trade that over so that we get yours, because, yeah, that's the only King's Rock you'll get. Also, Lumos is evolving! Yeah! Wow, I'm already! Yeah! Because, yeah, it evolves at level 27, so Lumos has now evolved into Lantern! Lantern gets even better with some special-based moves, so, you know, it's a good special sweeper. But, you know, with any kind of water-based or electrical-based moves, since they're both in the special category for this gen, well, and I mean, they still are. Well, at least Surf and, well, Surf at least, and also Water Gun, they're still special-based by the time of the physical special split. I know Spark actually does become physical by the time of Gen 4. But, you know, but for this gen, it's still considered a special. So let's go read the Pokedex entry. Lantern, the light Pokemon. This Pokemon uses a bright part of its body, which changed from a dorsal fin to lure prey. Alright, so, and yeah, like I said, actually it makes sense, you know, Lumos is actually a female because only the anglerfish, only if they're female, they have lures, the males don't. So, yeah, the more you know. I didn't want to sing that there. Okay, fine. The more you know. Ugh. Yeah, I had to go there. So, anyway, I think this way leads over to another exit to the Ruins of Alph. But I decided I actually wanted to battle this. Well, actually, no. I think I just well, yeah. It looks like past me is just pushing the boulder for no reason. But then I just went ahead and just went back up just to battle that hiker that's up there, because I thought it would just well, I didn't know if it was going to be like some kind of a one-way exit where we wouldn't really go back, so, or, oh, actually, never mind, actually, I went through it, well, or did I go back? Yeah, I saw there was a one-way exit because of those ledges, so I decided to go back because I just wanted to battle that, hiker that was up there, so, anyway, yeah, I think that was pretty much what I was going to say, like, about when it came to the, King's Rock. Yeah, that's, like, yeah, the only way you'll ever get a King's Rock in this, there's only one, so you'll have to trade over from Gold or Silver. Alright, so we got this hiker here. This one I'm going to show off because, like, even though he uses Geodude and well, I think 2 Geodudes and 1 Graveler, because I see there's like 3 Pokemon in his roster. But I figured I'd just to show him off anyway because this would technically be our first battle against Graveler, even though we have our own Graveler, because that's what Daruk is right now. Magnitude is very weak, and how the hell does he get like a stronger magnitude than me? Because, you know, that's always the thing with these trainers, like their AI. It's like they're always programmed to be stronger, and then you're always programmed to have like to just be weaker. Oh, fucking shitty RNG. God damn. Okay, I was just gonna use another Geodude. So yeah, I guess I don't really have to explain much for like Graveler, because, you know, like I said, we have our own. Magnitude 6. Yeah, I guess I'll just be fine. By the way, folks, I know this video is also 30 minutes long. I know I say that like every time when a video is that far long. That's only because, like, you know, there's that one instance where I spent a little more time on the puzzles because I got stuck at one point. Well, the puzzle's over in the Ruins of Alph. The other thing being is that it was our... Oh, hey, Magnitude... finally, the game's nice to me for once. Thank God. But yeah, that was because, like, there was that one instance where I was battling this one trainer, and that trainer was giving me shit, and it managed to take a lot longer than it had any right to be. So that's why it was being, like, 30 minutes long. But I actually want to get this recording done and over with, because what I'm doing is, by the time of this recording, it was already Friday, and there is a good reason why I'm recording this on Friday, but more on that once we actually get to it. So, we have this trainer face. This guy will have a Pokemon that we have not encountered yet, and we'll see just what it is. It's another Psychic. And so, yeah, just one Pokemon psychic Nathan, and he is gonna send out Girafarig. Alright, Girafarig. So, it has some well-balanced stats here. It is a normal and psychic type, so yeah, it's only weak against dark types. So, unfortunately, you can't really use ghost types against this thing because because being a normal type, then it's you know, completely immune to it. So yeah, yeah, like I said, Girafarig has pretty good balanced stats. I think a pretty decent move pool as well. It's pretty fast. Girafarig's name is a palindrome, so you know, to those of you who don't know what it means, like basically just spell backwards and you still get Girafarig. And then come Gen 9, Girafarig is also one of those Pokemon that does get an evolution in that gen, and Farigiraf, and also it's also a palindrome where you know, Farigiraf just still or actually yeah, I was just thinking of the name. Yeah, it's also it also still keeps the name where it's still a palindrome regardless. And so, yeah, it actually does get better with you know, with better physical, or not, I mean, special attack kind of stat though, and not too bad of an evolution method where it just learns a certain move, but yeah. And little piece of trivia here, Girafarig originally had a beta design where like, you know, we're considering the name of it, we're considering how it's a palindrome name. Um, the same would have applied to its beta design, where like we're basically Girafarig originally was going to have like two heads, were two full giraffe heads, one for the yellow one for the black head, so it had a full giraffe head here. And so so where you can see here, actually to me, it kind of looks a little bit better in that regard, but because of I think because of the cartridge limitations, or maybe because of time constraints, and they had to redesign it to where or at least to where it's they changed the black giraffe head to an actual tail, where like it still has a spherical head, but it's like a more of a tail, so it's like it still kind of has two heads in a way, but because of that, it managed to get like a little smaller, a little more generic, just being a little more spherical. So yeah, because of that, a little bit of a letdown in terms of the design. I kind of like the older design a little better because you know, it makes more sense considering the name of Girafarig. But you know, what are you gonna do? I might as well keep it like that. But you know, I guess you could probably argue that that its evolved form in Gen 9 of Farigiraf would probably be a reference to that, because I mean its tailhead actually just goes over the actual head itself, and it loses the tail in that kind of regard. So. Anyway, so this next puzzle here, we have the next one's going to be for Ho-Oh, which you know, it's one of those legendary puzzles. They actually did mention Ho-Oh when we were in Eggertique City, but we've yet to encounter this one. This one maybe not too hard of a puzzle, I would say. You know, you're just looking at, or take a look at its feathers here, or its wings, and also just doing the rest for the head. So I mean, it's, you know, it's still pretty easy to go through. This one actually goes, no, yeah, this one kind of stumped me a little bit, where like, it looked a little bit wrong when I was just seeing, or taking a little closer look at the puzzle, but then I just realized, oh, actually, no, I think this is the right one, because, just taking a close look at the beak, and yeah, there we go. So that's that puzzle done, and, yeah, there's like, kind of no reason to just show, I mean, I figured I'd just go ahead and show off those puzzles anyway, because, you know, just, for one thing, just for the sake of showing them off, but like, if you want to, like, if you just want to follow on a guide for like having to do those puzzles, you want to catch those unknown, then you know, there it is. And yeah, I cut back over to the bottom of the Union Cave just by using that special teleportation, or just this magical door method. Ooh, we're going again with those magical doors. That's what I always do. It's amazing. Like go to the magical doors. It takes me to another location instead of the normal one. Anyway, so let's go ahead and head back down here that I was originally at, but I guess I didn't want to take any risks just having to do all the backtracking. And there's one more puzzle to do here. This is what got me the most, actually, and that's the reason why I'm speeding this heavier, because, you know, this is actually where it gets a little more complicated, because for this last puzzle that we're doing right here is of Ammonite. So, yeah, essentially we're just doing puzzles of all the fossil Pokemon, or at least the Gen 1 fossils, where we had Kabuto, and then Aerodactyl, and then Ammonite, but not getting Ho, though, because Ho was just the legendary. But yeah, this is the puzzle that really stumped me the most, because, you know, it's mainly because of the edges of the puzzle itself, where, you know, just see the ripply water that's right there, and, you know, it was really hard to tell for me, like, where the edges were. And unfortunately, the corner pieces were a little butchered, so I couldn't exactly tell where the corner pieces were. where it's like a, you know, all where the way its shape was. So I had to just it took me a long time to figure out um where each of those goes. So that's why I'm kind of speeding this up here, and why you're hearing this like this whole music just took some helium. No, you know, because the well, that's usually what I like to do, because you know, um, what I did for those speed was just like just having to right click on that clip on Adobe Premiere, and then just go to the and just click on speed or duration, and just type in 200%. And there is the option to maintain the audio pitch to you know, just keep the very same pitch and not sound very chipmunky, or like or just you know, very high pitch. But I just you know, I just kept it as a high pitch anyway, just, you know, just for shits and giggles. You know, I just like to do it for fun. But you know, that's just me. I know some guys might find it a little bit annoying, some little a little just I don't know, kind of irritating. But you know, I like to do it just for the sake of it, because you know, it's that's one fun thing about video editing. You know, it's like, you know, fun with video editing. It's just what I like to do, because you know, as stressful as video editing can be, especially when you're doing like these major projects and you have to do a lot of it, it can be pretty stressful. But at times it can also be pretty funny. You know, just want to do some things for shits and giggles and just for the sake of entertainment. You know, I just do that. It's good to have a little fun in some work environments, even though at times it can be pretty stressful. But you know. Anyway, so that was all the I think that was all the puzzles to do for this one. Like there's only like 4 of those puzzles, and so after doing all 4 of them, then that's where you can actually that's basically where all the unknown alphabets will start to appear, and so we can pretty much be able to catch any of those all those alphabets. Go for like a 100% completion for the unknown. It's a real chore to do, and you know, very, very time consuming. You're gonna be spending a bunch of hours doing that if you just want to go do like a completion for the unknown. So I mean, if you're actually just going to decide to just go and catch all these variants of the unknown, just be prepared to spend hours on it, because you know, because of the RNG for the for those unknown encounters. I had to talk to those guys, because I thought that they would give you the Pokegear Radio add-on for the mysterious unknown kind of sound, but I think that's like before I realized that I think it's just automatic. But I mean, I didn't really look this up though. I could be wrong, but I think it just automatically comes right into the Pokegear Radio. So you just turn it on and you just hear that strange tune. So anyway, so with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and explore the rest of the Ruins of Alph. So so yeah, there's like some other areas just by going to like a server down there through the other areas of the Ruins of Alph. There's also more trainers to battle as well, so you know, I just want to go down there for the sake of grinding. And so we have a couple of trainers with some new encounters here. Pokemon Maniac Andrew. This guy is using Marowak, and yeah, I remember Marowak. You know, that was Cubone's mother that was killed by Team Rocket in Lavender Town, which was kind of dark in a way. So yeah, Marowak. I think pretty good on attack power, and you know, has a bunch of those ground-based moves. Like I was saying with Cubone, it does have its bone-based moves like Boomerang or Bone Club. I think Bone Rush is a move that was introduced in Gen 2, if I'm not mistaken. I always thought it was Gen 4, because there was that one instance where like one of those stat trainers that you travel with in some certain dungeons. There's this one guy that uses Lucario. And Lucario has the Bone Rush move. So at first I thought it was in a Gen 4, but I think it's actually in Gen 2. But it's one of those moves that Marowak can use. But yeah, Marowak is a good kind of a ground type Pokemon. I don't exactly know where you can catch Cubone in this gen, because I know Cubone is found over in the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town. As long as he had the Self Scope, but it's very rare to find. Because you'll just mostly be encountering like Ghastlies or Haunters in that dungeon, but you know, very rarely you'll encounter the Cubones. But I can't remember exactly where Cubone can be found, but either way, it's definitely one of those rare finds. And then we start flying over this way. There should be another Pokemaniac with another Pokemon that we've yet to encounter. You know, we're here to conduct some Pokemon research. Let me demonstrate my findings in a real battle. Okay then. Alright, so for this one, here we have Pokemaniac Calvin, and for this one, he's going to be sending out Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan, I would say, you know, she's pretty tanky, and also Kangaskhan is always going to be female, which makes sense because Kangaskhan is supposed to be the mother. Kangaskhan is definitely one of those Pokemon that a lot of people love to use in terms of the competitive play, especially over in Gen 6 where they make so much use with Mega Kangaskhan. Um, yeah, it has some real good. It's a pretty good powerhouse, and you know, the one thing, you know, since it does have a pretty low special defense, but you know, other than that though, it's pretty defensive, and you know, has a real good attack power. It has it has some pretty decent move. Well, I mean, not by its natural moveset for natural move pool in Gen 2, but you can actually teach it some good variants of the of those of TMs. Now, here's the thing about this one, though. Well, I mean, at least from what I'm dealing with right now. So, yeah, this is actually where... this is the reason why this video took a long time for me to record, and why this video was 30 minutes long. Because, like, you know, I kept trying to use Magnitude constantly, and, you know... Kangaskhan has been using Bite, which has been causing Daru to flinch a lot. And, you know, this is another one of those things where, like, you know... Bite always seems to be programs where your own Pokemon will flinch a lot more, all because, you know, with RNG, but it's always, the AI is always programmed for like, having your Pokemon to get flinched from the, to flinch from the Bite. And so, because of that, like, I kept trying to use Magnitude on that, Kangaskhan, because, like, you know, Kangaskhan is very beefy, as it's, you know, she's very defensive. And so, by constantly trying to use Magnitude, it kept showing me the low power for that. I was really hoping for either 8, 9, or 10, but you know, it kept showing like either 4 or 6, and it's always like 4 or 6 for some reason. So like, you know, it's always one of the things where, like, you know, it's the RNG is always programmed to have like very weak power for Magnitude, and so, and also double the fact that Drew keeps on flinching from the from Bite. Then this battle managed to take so much longer than it had any right to. So, so that's the reason why the video ended up being 30 minutes long. Actually, the original recording from editing those, it was originally almost 40 minutes long because of it. So, like, you know, had it not been for that kind of predicament, I would have actually been able to actually easily take down that Kangaskhan had it not been for the shitty RNG for that what I've had to deal with. So I would have taken a little less time with it, but no, because the battle tended to drag on so much longer because of the because of weak RNG, and also for Magnitude, and because it kept flinching, then the video ended up being over 40 minutes long, and so so I had to go ahead and you know, just continue recording anyway, even though it ended up being 30 minutes long, because that really shouldn't have been that way. So, you know, I just decided, you know, it's more of, you know, what could have been. You know, if it didn't happen, then I wouldn't have to record for or this video wouldn't have ended up being over 30 minutes long because of it. So, so that's the reason why. So, and also because well, I'll just get to it in just a sec. So, anyway, so this here is the first encounter with the Cool Trainers. Cool Trainers tend to use they tend to be more skilled than your average trainer, where they'll use some stronger Pokemon and some type varieties. This guy here, Cool Trainer Nick, will actually use all 3 of the Kanto starters. So he's starting with Charmander here, and so, so yeah, I guess you know, not much else to say about the those Kanto starters, because I mean, I've already pretty much covered them back in my Pokemon Red Let's Play. They're like more based on the they kind of like affect the overall difficulty of Gen 1 based on the gym leaders you'll be facing. With you know, Charmander being the hard mode, Squirtle being the medium mode, and then Bulbasaur being the easy mode. They're also over level because all 3 of the Kanto starters are supposed to evolve to their middle forms at level 16. So so yeah, but you know, it's, you know, just for the sake of showing off, there's like, you know, just first encounter with those 3 of the Kanto starters. I see Squirtle is pretty good with special defense here, just by having to use Spark. Yeah, this would technically be our first encounters with Charmander and Squirtle, but we've already encountered Bulbasaur back earlier in this LP. So I also kind of like the sprite of the Cool Trainer. Like, he's just like giving a thumbs up, like Cool Trainer approves. But so yeah, back to what I was saying about like, you know, those couple of reasons why the video was 30 minutes long. I've already explained the biggest problem with that. But, you know, but there's also the reason why I didn't really end all this video right then and there, because this video was recorded on Friday, and I actually needed to record the video on Friday, And the reason being is because there is a certain Pokemon that can only be encountered on Fridays, and so now normally there's this little thing that you can do where you can actually just reset the clock by yourself just by pressing some certain buttons, but there's actually a password for that, and I didn't really feel like doing that because I didn't really want to take any risks for that, and it is kind of a pain in the ass to do, especially if you forget some forget some passwords, because this is like back in the old days when those older games were running on the whole password system. But yeah, because of that, because it was already Friday, and since there's that certain Pokemon that will only appear on Fridays, which we've already mentioned that before earlier in those earlier in this LP. Um, yeah, since it was already Friday, I want to go ahead and get this recording out of the way, but I didn't really want to end out this video right then and there because the video ended up going over the 30-minute threshold because of that damn Kangaskhan, and because of the whole AI and the RNG. So yeah, I actually blame the whole thing for that, honestly. But oh, now it goes magnitude 10. What the hell, game? So anyway, so yeah, because of that, then I didn't really want to end all this video right then and there. Also because I had to go to work at that time because since I work on Fridays and I had to close then. So I really want to get this out of the way just for the sake of showing that, because I didn't really want to have to wait for another week since I was already there. And I did a bunch of recordings because of that, like so many recordings prematurely, just to get to that point, because you know it was already getting close to Friday anyway. So I want to go ahead and get to the points that way there I can actually just show off where that Pokemon is and be able to catch it while it was Friday, since it only appears on Fridays anyway. So yeah, that's the whole reason why I really didn't want to end the video right then and there. So anyhow, so back to talking about this trainer here. This is the other female variants of the cool trainers. She's gonna be using well, she starts off with Eevee, and the rest are actually Eeveelutions, but only the ones that were introduced in Gen 1. And so that would actually be our first encounter with Eevee, because we already did encounter those other Eeveelutions with the when we battled the Komodo girls in Egritique City. But Eevee here, Eevee is definitely one of those Pokemon where like you have like so many options for evolving Eevee, and it's definitely one of my definitely a great Pokemon, or a great kind of choice if you want to go for one of those Eeveelutions, especially like some of the good ones, especially with Vaporeon, or just going for Umbreon, which is a real good tank. And then there's also Espeon that's good with a special attack, and with its good move pool with Psychic types, or just using Psychic type moves in general. But yeah, because of that, I've always loved Eevee because of it. Definitely one of the best Pokemon to go for, and probably my absolute favorite Normal type because of those variety of options for Eeveelutions. And there's actually only one way to get Eevee. The only way to get it is that after you encounter Bill in Egritique City, you go back over to his house in Goldenrod City, and then if you talk to him there, then he'll actually give you an Eevee. And so I think it starts off at level 10, but I know it starts off at a very low, like level 5 in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But yeah, once you get that Eevee, then you're give it some good choices, and you can also be able to just evolve it to either well, actually, as a matter of fact, and by the time of Crystal, you can actually just get those elemental stones from some of those trainers. But if you're just playing Gold and Silver, then you'll actually have to wait till like way later, like over in post game, to get those evolutionary stones, which always bother me in a way. Well, because of that. But you can actually just get earlier access to getting like a Espeon or Umbreon, like just by either one of those, just by evolving. Well, if you have a high friendship level with Eevee, like during the day you can evolve it to Espeon, while at nighttime it'll be Umbreon. But as of this generation, it's gonna take a long time for that. Like, it's gonna be such a pain in the ass. Like, you can actually just go to those hair salons in Goldenrod City, just just to speed up the friendship process, right? And just by along with it. But it's gonna take a long ass time with it, because I know I think Gen 4 introduces the Soothe Bell, which actually speeds up the friendship process. So it'll take like less time, but only in Gens 2 and 3, because I don't think the Soothe Bell was a thing in Gen 3. Then it's gonna take a long ass time for that, so be prepared for that. So anyway, so we'll start over this way. So let's go into save here. So yeah, like I said, only on Fridays you'll encounter this one Pokemon that's right here. It has it's obviously a Lapras here because we have that same spray, and it's also color blue. So we have a red and blue Lapras there. So yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this here is Lapras. And so yeah, like I said, yeah, like I've been saying a lot of times, Lapras can only be encountered on Fridays over in the Union Cave down there. So that's why I really want to get this recording out of the way and have it record this video on Friday, for the sake of it. And oh, good, I just got paralyzed right away. Lapras is a pretty well balanced kind of Pokemon in terms of the stats. Does know a pretty good natural moveset. It's also a water and ice type, which is kind of a decent type combination. It's pretty it doesn't really do that well with speed though. Like it's relatively a little bit low with speed, but overall it's pretty well balanced with those stats. So it's kind of a good alternative. Like you don't want to go for Gyarados, which arguably Gyarados is so much better. But then again though, Lapras doesn't really have like a 4 times weakness because of its water and ice type. So you know overall it's still kind of a good type combination. I'm not really gonna add this to my team though, because I mean technically I already have Lemos, because you know, well I already have a Lantern, which is a water and electric type, because I needed those kind of coverages there. But I still want to catch it anyway, just for the sake of Pokédex completion. And I was kind of starting to run a little low on Great Balls, because because it was getting released, but I had to at least put it in the yellow zone and paralyze it. So anyway, now Lapras has been caught, and so Lapras is a transport Pokemon. This gentle Pokemon loves to give people rides, and provides a very comfortable way to get around. So yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna keep it in the PC there, but I just want to get it for the sake of Pokédex completion. So yeah, there we go. This is actually the only time you'll encounter Lapras, so just in Union Cave. So you want to get a Lapras in your team, then well there you go. That's where Lapras is. So yeah, just for the sake of showing it off here. So anyway, so that was it for this half-hour long video. I do apologize for that, but again, if it had not been for that Kangaskhan, then I would have had it done sooner. So. Anyhow, so go ahead and call an episode here. Next time on Let's Play Pokemon Crystal, we are going to explore just a couple more areas around in Johto, and then I guess we'll take out Jasmine afterwards. So I'll see you guys then.